really awkward stuff. A Metal Army interview with Hung. What's up, everybody in the band?
What's up?
What's up?
So we'll just go round counterclockwise or something, or clockwise, and just name check me so I can check this out later properly. Except, go.
My name is Sam Roon. I play bass in the greatest band in the world, Hung.
How do you top that already? Go ahead.
I'm Evil John, guitars.
Nice.
I'm Kenny Grahowski. I hit circles and Hung.
I'm Dmitry Kostitsyn, vocals.
I'm Lyris Hung. I play the violin.
Thank you, guys. So, now that we're all having a good time together, how'd you guys put the band together originally?
That's a great question.
Wow. Oh, that was a long time ago. I was looking to put together something, kind of a heavy project, but it was really non-specific. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do with it yet. So I just put out ads and met all sorts of fucking freaks. But in that mix of freaks was, I think, either John or Sam got back to me.
I think it was John.
John got back to me. And we met, and the two of them had already known each other from previous band. And so we met up and we just kind of jammed and we listened to each other's stuff and we thought it would work. And we still weren't clear exactly what we wanted to do with it, but we discussed it and it was, yeah, Kenny is a fucking... Anyways, so then we found Dmitry in the middle of an ice storm or some kind of lightning storm.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And he had just come over from Moscow recently, and this was his, he tried out for us. And Kenny came along quite a bit later. We went through a sort of Spinal Tap drummer marathon. We made up like four drummers before him.
Our last one actually did die.
Yeah.
Or wheatgrass.
So Kenny came in, saved the day, and he's been with us ever since.
Awesome. All right.
Keeper.
Nice. So, debut record is coming out in a few weeks. Awesome. How did you guys get hooked up with the N Records?
So, got to give credit where credit is due. Jason Leckberg, a good friend of ours, he got inspired to start a record label. Things didn't exactly pan out the way that he wanted to, but what ended up happening was Chris Adler from Lamb of God and Larry Mazer, who's the manager of Lamb of God, created a joint venture with the End Records called Rethink Records, and that's what we are on, technically, I guess. And they brought all these people into a show one time. We did this little fancy schmancy, what the hell is it? Showcase. And that was it. We're a live band, so you never. As soon as you see it live, you want to throw money at us, and that's why we're rolling in dough right now.
And I think you guys are the very first Rethink band technically to kind of have a release, right?
No.
Oh no.
There's only 2 bands signed, and we're the second.
Okay.
Yeah.
So pretty close.
I stand corrected.
We're actually the last.
Nice.
The last band.
The last for now. If you just had to boil it down to a short answer, what would you say are the collective influences of the band, lyrically, musically, etc., whatever, outside music, whatever?
I'd say musically, mainly really progressive music. We're all, I'd say, into metal. But beyond metal, which is sort of like the commonality that we have all like a lot of various influences in our backgrounds. So like for me, it'd be like more prog and rock. Kenny is doing all sorts of stuff with like his Latin weird ass jazz shit.
Fusion, experimental.
Lyris is classically trained Juilliard graduate. Sam plays a bass. And,
He eats a little bit.
Dmitry has an accent, so
for me, it's literally
it's a very
death and
eclectic
violence.
mix. It
Murder.
works.
Yeah. On a daily basis. Yes.
Daily
Murder.
basis. All right. Nice. Okay. Moving right along. That was a good answer. General question, but maybe something really specifically geared for you. Do you think metal in general is becoming a little more accepting of non-traditional bands that have a little something different to offer than the straight up 4 or 5 piece anymore?
Definitely. If we're any signal of that, we've gotten really great receptions from the variety of different metal audiences that we've played for, and we played on on bills where we didn't think we were going to get a single soul, like, standing in that room, and, people show up. Because I think it is different, and after a while, especially at a festival where you've got like 80 bands or 100 bands or whatever, it's a little refreshing to see something slightly different.
Anybody else want to add to that, or?
I think everybody's becoming more accepting of things that are unique because of how flooded the scene is becoming with generic bands. So you've got 10,000 bands that sound exactly the same. You get a band like Home where, regardless of the violin, the sound is completely different from that. Then you add the violin, and it's just like it's a completely unique thing. And I think having those elements is what actually makes it interesting, because everything else is really starting to sound like it's the same thing over and over again, being generated like out of a fucking factory line or something. You know what I mean? It all sounds the same, and for bands like us, you get to come out and be a little bit different. And I think that you can see that on people's faces, whether they like you or not. You can see that they're paying attention.
Yeah.
And that's because it is different, and it's something to actually focus on. It's not predictable what's going to happen next, and that's nice.
Yeah. Awesome. And I was going to ask, since the release is imminent, within a few weeks, what do you have planned kind of for the kickoff, and any kind of shows and tour dates maybe coming up?
May 3rd, we're playing Trash Bar. It's going to be New York City, Brooklyn, which will be a city release party, and we're actually going to play the whole city from start to finish.
That's amazing.
So yeah, if you're listening to this and you're in New York and Brooklyn, come and stop by Trash Bar May 3rd.
Week before that, we're going to
Yeah, it's
do a listening party.
28th. Yeah, 28th at Duff's. We're having a listening party, so we're going to be drinking, getting wasted, and come and say hello.
If you
listen
ever wanted to punch us, that's your chance.
Yeah.
Because we won't feel it.
It's the slap wheel. If you ever wanted to turn the slap wheel and slap any metalhead in the face freely without retribution, that would be the night.
Awesome answer. Wow.
And then we have a very short little mini tour after that May 3rd date. We're going down the East Coast, I think all the way down to Atlanta, and then coming back. So it's just a little mini tour.
Awesome. Do you remember when that was getting booked?
Still is.
Yes, it is. And then sort of a general last question. You can take this or leave it, kind of. It kind of interested me about you guys, and you said you've been together a long time and how things have come together. In terms of networking and marketing, especially, I was like impressed with your Facebook page and Twitter. You guys are, social media and networking. How important is that when you go from being kind of unknown to signed for you guys? Like, how much work do you guys put in marketing and networking?
Well, we put a lot of work in. I think a lot of bands that you see around are also putting in a lot of work, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much work you do. You need professionals, in my opinion. You need publicity. You need people who are going to care about the band, whose full-time job it is to push your band, and you're not going to be successful without it. We have a great publicist, Paul Sobrano, who is working his ass off trying to get people to care about a band that nobody's ever heard of, and for some reason people are. You're sitting here talking to us. This is great, and that's what it's all about. You need somebody to push for you all the time, and you need publicity. Otherwise, you're just going to be a MySpace page with 20,000 friends on it.
Awesome. Anybody else? That was very succinct.
Ken didn't answer anything.
We concur.
Well, there was nothing really for me to answer. These are really serious questions.
Ask him something
sorry.
stupid.
Yeah, ask him something dumb.
Yeah, I played drums.
If who are your favorite drummers? Latin fusion jazz guy?
I think overall,
Yeah.
favorite drummers would be like Julio Barreto, who used to play with a Cuban piano player named Gonzalo Rubalcaba. Probably actually wrote the most evil progressive record I've ever heard, but it's not metal. But it's pretty fucking vicious.
Nice.
Actually, a lot of double bass. Thomas Hawk from Meshuggah was the first metal drummer I ever really heard. And so even though I don't play or sound anything like him whatsoever, he's actually a huge influence. Jamie from Ulcerate is becoming more and more of a big influence on what I do, and every time I listen to any of their albums, I feel like such a fucking amateur. It's like what he's coming up with is really... People are going to play like that 10 years from now. fucking Tony Williams, famous jazz drummer, fusion guy. Virgil Donati, fucking crazy Australian sick fuck. I can keep going. I can name this all
He's
fucking
just gonna
day.
name every
He's just
drummer he
gonna
knows
name
and why he
everybody.
likes him.
Yeah,
Nice.
no, there's. I mean, hell, like even Matt Halpern. I really like his playing. I got to say hi to him real quick, but I really like what he does with Periphery. I think he makes them groove in a way that like really helps their music push along. Like he makes sense of it all.
He holds it down.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have an end to this interview, so thank you.
I have an end. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
No,
to
thank
all
you
the-
guys.
You don't
Thank
want
you
to
to the
know
side
about
and to
Sam's
the-
end.
No, you don't
No,
want
no.
that. But thank you to all the readers and
Yeah, it's all
anybody who's out there supporting Hung, or if you're checking this out right now, head over to the website. We got the singles are streaming on our website right now, hungrocks.com, and anything you can do to support, even just going there and listening is a way of supporting us. You know what I mean? And that's what we appreciate. It's all about the music for us. So, anybody who's checking this out, definitely check us out.
It's not fun if
on
it's
there.
just for us. We want it to be for the world.
That's right.
Awesome. Thank you guys and gals.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.